What's up, YouTube? This is Bystander X79 coming to you today with my Masked Hero deck profile. I can tell you this right now, this deck can drop a field like no other Masked Hero deck I've ever built before, and not only that, it has some pretty good defenses here to deal with the current meta. Alright, with that being said, we're just going to get right into it. Can't wait to show you this deck, guys. It's really fun. Alright, so, as always, we start with monsters. And the first monster that you saw in my bumper was Vision Hero Vion. Now, Vion is the hero version of Foolish Burial. Whenever you summon it, you can send a hero monster from your deck to your graveyard, which does help set up a lot of plays. Also, while it's in the field, you can banish a hero monster from your graveyard to add a polymerization spell card from your deck to your hand. Excuse me, it's just polymerization, not a polymerization card. Excuse me, just the normal poly. So it's a pretty good toolbox card, level 4 warrior type monster, so you can actually bring it out with Rhoda easily. And it's also searchable through things like a Hero's Live, because it's a hero monster. Now, what do we want to turn around and send to the graveyard with its effect? Destiny Hero Malicious is the card we need to send. Primary reason is that once you put it into the graveyard, you can banish Malicious from the graveyard to summon another one right from your deck to your field, which instantly adds cards to your hand, so you can go into Link Monsters, or even set up fusion plays, or even mass change plays with it, because since it is a hero monster, you can use mass change on it to turn around and turn it into a Dark Lord or an Anki. Okay, now the other monster to send with Vision Hero Vion would be 3 copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Alright, when Shadow Mist is sent to the graveyard, you get to search for another hero monster to add to your hand. One card you do not want in your hand. You really don't want Destiny Hero Malicious in your hand at all. So you'd be able to search out a Vion or the other hero in my deck, which I'm about to show you. Cool thing about it is that when Shadow Mist is ever special summoned to the field, you can turn around and search your deck for a mask change and add it to your hand, which gets you to what you need to get on the field, which is Masked Hero Dark Lord. Okay. Now the other hero monsters I have in the deck are 2 copies of Elemental Hero Honest Neos. Honest Neos is essentially the hand trap for hero monsters. Basically, during a battle phase, you can send it from the dark one of your monsters, send it to the graveyard, and that hero monster gains an extra 2500 attack, which is pretty awesome. Another cool thing about it is that while this monster's on the field, it does have 2500 attack, so it makes a good base stick. But when it's on the field, it basically turns any other hero monster that you have in your hand basically into a power boost, because you can send that card to your graveyard to boost itself by that monster's attack that you sent. Alright. Now, Shadow Mist has 1000, Vion has 1000, and Malicious has 800, so all those are a great boosts for Elemental Hero Honest Neos here. And the fact that we have Saruja in this deck, in the extra deck, means you can actually get him onto the field quite easily now. Alright, and some support cards we have in this deck. We have 3 copies of Gavenberg. Gavenberg, basically normal summon it. It special summons a warrior type monster from your hand onto the field. So essentially it adds to your field quickly. Your best hand will be opening this, plus a Vion. Opening with this and a Vion in your hand, so you can get Malicious into your graveyard and then basically go up from there. Alright, last but not least, we have Shan Squire. It's a level 1 warrior tuner monster. Primary reason why we have this card in here is basically because of Isolde, the Two Tails of the Noble Knights. You pitch your equip spell, you'll be able to special summon him, and then if you have Goblinberg on the field, you can actually synchro into the Naturia Beast, which does shut down a lot of decks. Alright, so that's it for the monster lineup right there. We're going to go right into the spells. Of course, I mentioned this already. We have 3 copies of Hero Lives. Helps get your monsters from your deck onto your field real fast. Yeah, I know, yeah, Ash Blossom's a thing, it can stop that, but still, and put you at a disadvantage because it costs half your life points, but it does get you a monster to where it is. Again, Shadow Mist gets you that search for mass change. You'll also turn around and have Vion, whose effect goes off whether you normal or special summon it, so it does open up a whole lot of plays. So it needs to be here. Of course, to deal with the Ash Blossom from stopping you, 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Quick play spell, banish something from your opponent's graveyard, and then they can't activate that particular monster's effects for that turn. It's a great way to shut down your opponent's hand traps like Ash Blossom, which is a real threat to this deck. No hero deck is complete without emergency call. It searches out any hero monster you need. Only run 2 copies because there's a whole lot of search power in this deck already. I do run 3 copies of Instant Fusion. Alright. The primary reason why I run 3 copies is because you kind of want to see the card. It does open up a lot of plays, and it does have some interesting uses. Once I turn around and get into the extra deck, you'll see the reason why. Alright. 3 copies of Mass Change. You need this card because you want to go into your Dark Lore as fast as possible. Monster Reborn, the ultimate combo extender. The only equipped spell I run in here is Moon Mirror Shield. Again, this is for the Isolde to turn in, to get Shane Squire out of the deck onto the field and go into your Naturia Beast. The single polymerization because Vion does have that ability to search it out, and Vision Hero Adoration is actually a huge boon to this deck. Being able to target another hero monster and then basically lower your opponent's monster's attack by that other hero monster's attack. Awesome card. Of course, you have Raigeki to bust through boards. Rhoda, getting to search out your Vions. And then, of course, we have Upstart Goblin, just because it helps turn this card from a 40 card deck to a 39 card deck. Alright, so that's the spells. I do want a trap lineup in this. Traps are very important. It does help stop a lot of the meta decks. 2 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole. Destroy a monster that was summoned at 1500 attack and then banish it. This, I know, with things like Trickstars, it might be hard with Candina because if they search out Lycoris or have a Lycoris in hand, they can always bounce it off and you miss the target. They missed the target, but it does stop Gokis because they do rely on that one normal summon. And then, of course, you have things like Solemn Strike, which can negate monster effects. So Candina gets put down onto the field. You can negate her search effect and just destroy it. And they can't chain Lycoris to it because this is a counter trap. So, and of course, to help keep things off the field, Solemn Warning because it blocks any summon that's chainable. Alright, that's the main deck. Let's go on to the extra deck. Instant Fusion targets, I have 2. We have Thousand Eyes Restrict, and then we have Carbonara Warrior. Carbonara Warriors is in there basically because it's Earth Attribute, so it's another way to go into Naturia Beast. I mean, it's also a warrior type, which means you can use it to build into Isolde in a pinch, in case your opponent tries to shut down one of your plays. Thousand Eyes Restrict, awesome card. Get it onto the field. Basically, it can steal one of your opponent's strongest monsters, equip it to itself, and then you can either leave it on the field to your end phase and let Instant Fusion's effect pop it, or you can just link it off for Linkuriboh. Either way, you're getting that big monster off the field. And of course, we have the masked heroes. I run 2 copies of Darklore. Darklore is your walking macrocosmos, walking one-sided macrocosmos, excuse me. Basically, any card that's sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. This hurts so much, so many meta decks, it's not even funny. The other cool thing about it is that whenever your opponent searches and adds cards from their deck to the hand, this card randomly chooses one of those cards and sends it to the graveyard, and since because of his first effect, that card's banished, so they're losing more resources every time they search. So, and of course you have Masked Hero Anki, swings big, and it also searches out Mass Change. Okay, you have Vision Hero Adoration. I explained this already. Punch one. I mean, basically, choose another hero monster on it, and then one of your opponent's monsters will lose attack equal to that other hero monster that you used. Awesome card to have in here, especially when you pair it up with another link. We have Naturia Beast, block spells, which just helps shut down decks. I mean, a combination of Darklore and Naturia Beast on the field at the same time can pretty much be game right there, because you're controlling a whole lot of what your opponent's doing. Okay, and then of course we have the links. You have Blinkaribo, great defensive monster. Be able to go from 1000 Ice Restrict into this guy to add that level of defense onto your field. Of course, we have to have Isolde. I run 2 copies of her. Pitch the Moon Mirror Shield from your deck to your graveyard, special summon Sheehan Squad, go into Naturia Beast. If you have a Dark Contributing monster in your hand with Mass Change, you're going to have Darklore, so you basically have your field set up. I do throw in a pair of Nightmares in there. Basically, this is just to help break up boards. It sends cards in the hand to the graveyard. So if you ever do draw into a Malicious, you basically have it out to turn around and get it out of your hand and into your graveyard. Pops monsters, pops spells, so it's a good defense. Underclock Taker. This card is so awesome. Just imagine, I can tell you right now, I love pairing it up with Adoration. I mean, just having something like this point to Adoration, and then maybe having one other hero monster on the field, just weakens a monster like crazy. Weakens your opponent's monsters like crazy. It makes Underclock Taker so pro, and of course we have to have Borlo Dragon because it's Borlo, can't be targeted, and takes your opponent's monsters whenever it attacks. And then of course we have Saruja. Saruja Skull Dread is so great in this because it's very easy to actually go into this with its 4 card effect to actually get the draw to fix your hands. The extra special summon comes in extremely handy, especially if you have Honest Neos in your hand, because then you can just drop it on the field and get that extra beater. And if Saruja points to anything, it powers it up. So if you have like a Darklore and a Naturia Beast with this card pointed to it, Darklore goes up to 29, Naturia Beast goes up to 27, which is so great. It just adds that extra attack presence and pressure onto the field. Alright guys, so that is it. That is my Masked Hero deck profile for the May 2018 format. Guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the notification bell to be alerted whenever I throw up new videos. And guys, please check out my other videos. Get the lowdown on how other decks are being built. Figure out how to beat them. And guys, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace out.